Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're watching a land battle between two civilizations whose naval prowess on the high seas is legendary, as DracKen, playing as the Vikings in purple, gets ready to take on Mr. Yo, playing as the Spanish in blue. Now while the players heard their herdables explore their enclosed off surroundings because we are on arena, and try to go up to Feudal Age, most likely Castle Age 2 as fast as possible, why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today? Not too sure why I focused in on this gate. I thought he was going to delete it. Thought it would look cool getting all destroyed, just like this gate. In any event, the Vikings and civilization that pushes its players primarily towards infantry. Starting in Feudal, all their infantry come with more HP and can be upgraded to get an attack boost against cavalry. Now, this boost will benefit, or rather can benefit, their first unique unit, the Berserker, a durable, well-armored, strong infantry unit whose health automatically regenerates at a rate of 40 HP per minute. Deer taking a bit of a wider approach to the town center, unless that was all part of DracKen's plan while he finishes harvesting this deer. Maybe, maybe not. Will he get it? Oh my goodness, he's playing games with this deer. Now, infantry, as we know, generally moves a little slow on the battlefield, so Viking archer line units to support them can be upgraded to get a small +1 attack boost, and to help their military endeavors out on the map, the Vikings get wheelbarrow and handcart upgrades for free. So they hit Feudal, they hit Castle Age, with villagers being immediately more efficient. Now, their infantry, which already, as I mentioned, come with a few cool features, can be upgraded even more to earn gold every time they kill villagers, monks, and trade cards. What is going on with the deer on this map? They literally have a mind of their own. DracKen having a bit of difficulty hurting these guys. Okay, let's see if he manages to get it. It's finally underneath the town center, plops out two villagers, and gets it. Let's take a look at the Spanish, a paramilitary civilization that, man, oh man, loves its gunpowder units. Spanish gunpowder units fire 18% faster, and their unique unit is the Conquistador, a heavy-hitting, less accurate mounted hand cannoneer that comes with more HP but less range. Mr. Yo. Interestingly, I don't think we've ever seen a spawn like this, where there's literally no wood line anywhere in his base. Usually on Arena, you've got a few wood lines that are secure. What the hell happened here to Mr. Yo? One player has deer who have a mind of their own. Another player has a base that has no wood at all. So he's going to have to wall himself in. But until he hits Feudal, he's going to be a little bit exposed, shall we say. But nah, nothing really in Dark Age or Feudal that can bust these guys down with a villager repairing it. Maybe a bit of archer pressure more than usual. But we'll see if that actually ever happens. Now, in order to defend their costly gunpowder units, the Spanish can train mercenaries, which are basically mounted monks with less range and can't pick up relics. And they can also upgrade both their monks and their missionaries to convert enemy units faster, and they can upgrade their missionaries to have a small little boost to their range. Now, to support their military-industrial complex, Spanish villagers do build structures 30% faster. Their blacksmith upgrades cost no gold, and they do get 20 gold every time they research an upgrade. Now, unlike an open map, I don't really expect to see Loom being researched in the immediate future, but when it happens, we'll see Mr. Yo's gold dip down to 50, and then once it's complete, jump up to 70. You do get a little bit of a government rebate, I guess, to a good way to describe it. Every time you research a tech, 20 gold is not bad, especially in the earlier stages of the game. Now, why, oh why did I call the Spanish a paramilitary organization, or rather civilization? Because their villagers can actually be upgraded to get 40 extra HP, extra armor, and a massive +6 attack boost, which, when you combine it with the Sappers upgrade, makes them pretty damn good at taking down buildings, castles, towers, even walls. We've seen a lot of fun examples in this game called Age of Empires 2, where Spanish villagers are just absolutely crushing it in the later stages of the game. Let's see what our Viking does when he discovers, hey, wait a second, what the hell are these palisades here? Choosing not really to investigate further, has seen the relic. So DracKen is not really on scout your enemy duty at the moment, more likely just scouting for relics rather, and he's immediately stumbles onto the second, having seen the third, I should say, the second near Mr. Yo's base. Relic distribution, let's take a look. There's a few neutral ones. DracKen doesn't really have any that are close to his base, though. There's one in the center that's kind of close to his base. Not really, though. Mr. Yo has one that's right close to his base. Has he seen it? Yes, he has. He also has seen 3 relics. So Arena, generally 3 stages of how this game goes. In the first stage, the players explore the map, try to get their butts up to Castle Age as soon as possible, which is why you'll see the players are going up on more than the usual 1920 villagers, and DracKen doing the exact same thing that he did in a previous game where he queues up 10 villagers. Somebody in the comment section mentioned that that's probably a mind game to make his opponent think that he's heading up earlier, and then he just cancels the villagers and goes up whenever he feels like it, which maybe not a bad strategy at all. But in any event, they're going to hit feudal, both of these players, and then they're going to get some gold, as both of them already look like they've started mining their gold. I expect once they hit Feudal Age, 2 structures will be plopped down, generally a stable and a blacksmith, sometimes a market and a blacksmith, if the players decide, you know what, I'm not going to contest the relics, I'm just going to rush up to Castle Age, and then, you know, I have a game plan in mind that I'm going to execute. But generally there's a stable involved, though neither player really building a barracks, and so not really expecting to see a stable at all. And then stage 2 happens once the players hit castle. They start duking it out over these guys, these relics. And once all the relics are collected, stage 2 and stage 3 begins, where the players build armies and try to basically beat each other to death online, of course, with 1s and 0s. Is there a tree behind here? Oh, that is so annoying for both players. One who wants to get out of his base, one who wants to get into his opponent's base. Looks like Mr. Yo will hit Feudal Age first. Market. And a blacksmith. Okay. I'm assuming the same thing. Yeah, okay, so a market and a blacksmith for you as well. So both players, interestingly, not really plopping down any barracks. Are they both planning on ignoring the relics? We'll see what happens. For now, both of them getting double bit axe, trying to get their lumberjacks to work a little bit faster. Mr. Yo might want to reinforce this. The Vikings are not exactly a weak civilization when it comes to knocking things down. But this is just absolutely, I mean, what do you say about this? This is not something we see every day, and both players already heading up to Castle Age. Mr. Yo about 15 or so seconds, I would say, 20 seconds ahead of his opponent. With a little bit of that Spanish quicker building, they do construct things 30% faster. Getting a bit more lumber. Now he's moving forward with 2 villagers. What are they building? Houses. So I like what both players are doing, shoring up their defenses here with a few houses. You never know what your opponent's going to throw at you. You never know how you're going to defend from what angle. So not a bad idea if you need housing, especially both of them at 35 housing, 20 rather, 8 population. Not a bad idea to get a bit of extra space for your civilization to grow. But again, that tree is so annoying. I don't know who it annoys more, the defender or the offender. In any event, we'll see what the players decide to do. For now, it looks like Mr. Yo is heading out on the map. Oh, with a few Michael Jackson villagers. Hee, they say, as they do the moonwalk. I'm glad I caught that on camera. Oh, I mean, I know Hera posted a whole Twitter post or X post. I don't know. It seems weird to call it X. I don't know. It's hard for me to call an app a letter after a decade of calling it Twitter, you know? Imagine you have a friend who just changes their name mid-friendship, and all of a sudden you have to call Bob Greg. You know, he posted a tweet, let's put it like that. I'm gonna go old school, where he talked about some of the issues with the game and how it's impacting his enjoyment of the game, even though he still absolutely loves the game. Of course, what the hell is not to love here? By the way, has DracKen seen? No, he hasn't. He's seen the Spearman. Now he sees the monastery out in the middle of nowhere. So Mr. Yo saying, you know what, I'm just going to collect relics from here. Not really going to bother with anything from my own base. And 2 town centers being placed down for our Viking, who, by the way, now that he's in castle, has handcart. Ridiculous. Our Spaniard doesn't even have wheelbarrow yet, and the Viking already has handcart. So his 29 villagers, compared to the 29 of the Spanish, are going to be infinitely more productive. But anyway, getting back to what Hera said, he just referenced a bunch of bugs in the game, and we just got to see one of them live with that moonwalking villager. I mean, Mr. Yo channeling his inner Huang with a siege workshop. He already has a relic. He's already starting to gather gold. I love that Capture Age here on the bottom right has already added how much gold is being generated, and the first kill of the game relatively early for Arena at the 16.5-minute mark. DracKen loses his first scout, which means he's got no military at all at a time when a battering ram is about to pop out. What do I make of this? I mean, there's a battering ram, but what units are there to support the battering ram? A battering ram on its own is not going to win you a game. It'll bust into your opponent's settlement for sure, but then what? What happens then? Let's see how the Viking decides to defend this. I mean, somehow Mr. Yo knows that his opponent is not going military. Why? Because Mr. Yo's out on the map, and you know what he doesn't see? Any purple units, any purple structures, any purple anything. And so immediately DracKen, being on the defensive, Mr. Yo immediately pounces. And okay, he's getting redemption as well. So he's going to be able to convert any enemy siege. He's going to be able to convert any enemy structures. Mr. Yo wants to end this in the next little while. A university being put down for our Viking. And an emergency tower of all things. Now, a tower not exactly useful for a battering ram, but you know what it is useful for? Attacking these guys who are going to be coming with the battering ram to repair it as DracKen attacks it. So a tower here, not a bad structure at all. I mean, if that's why he's doing it. I mean, I don't know why he's placing down this tower, but I suspect... Oh my god, is there another tower behind this? I'm trying to click. Yeah, there is another tower behind this. A double whammy here for our Viking, who says, you know what? Go into my base. I don't care. I don't have anything here. And this is exactly what he wants. He wants these villagers unable to protect this ram once it closes in. Now his villagers are free to pounce on it without these guys. You see, they have hammers in their hand. They're moving into repair, but that tower is going to absolutely wreck them. And not too much a spearman is going to do except cower inside the battering ram, make it move a little bit slower. Mr. Yo building a house. So he's making himself very comfortable, Mr. Yo, with no fewer than 4 relics. Hasn't gathered the last one, which is the closest one to his own base. Might want to get a move on, Mr. Monk. As early as you can gather the relics, the better. But honestly, both players here not really making any effort to bruise and batter each other. Mr. Yo just wants to bust in. But I ask again, with what? What follow-up? These towers are now guard towers. $60 Viking villagers. I mean, DracKen is about as cool as you can be under this kind of pressure. I mean, I say Mr. Yo doesn't want to kill his opponent when I should have been more specific with units that have human components to them, not with siege like rams and mangonels. He is here with 3 mangonels and a battering ram. What's inside of you? Just that one spearman. But he's not training. There's no scouts behind this. There's no anything. He's now attacking a wall. And so Mr. Yo has busted in. But now let's see his vision. He's a little bit at a loss for what to do here. He's just kind of waiting. He's bringing more villagers forward. He's got 800 stone. He just spent 100 of it. That means we're going to see a town center somewhere. But he is about to castle drop. Is our Spaniard right as he moves forward with the battering ram. Let's see if he distracts. But oh, the villagers are very exposed here. This tower can attack, and DracKen sees it immediately pounces. Is this a distraction castle? Just so these mangonels can attack the tower? I mean, this is brilliant play out of both players. Mr. Yo engaging into the tower in the north with a battering ram, which again is now going to be attacked, and there's not a damn thing that one spearman is going to be able to do about it. On the other hand, Mr. Yo is distracting this tower with these mangonels, so the castle goes up, or he's distracting the tower with the castle while the mangonels gun the tower down. Brilliant play, a real Sophie's choice there for DracKen. What do? Do you attack the villagers and lose the tower? Do you attack the mangonels and let the castle go up? In any event, he died. Unfortunately, both things happen. He loses the tower and the castle goes up. And now he's here. The 3 mangonels are being repaired. 1 villager joins in. And this is exactly why he wanted those towers. Oh, but the villager gets converted and becomes a Spanish villager and now moves forward, repairs. But 1 mangonel is down. A defensive castle is basically completed here for DracKen, who has 500 food, 300 gold. Mr. Yo's plopping down as many economic upgrades as he can afford at the moment. Behind this, he's got a boom. He is down 28, 30 villagers. If this attack doesn't work, he is in a buttload of trouble. His opponent is, let's call it about halfway-ish to going up to Imperial. Now, why am I talking about Imperial? because he's gathering resources. He's not really spending resources that are necessary for Imperial. No food, no gold being wasted. He's spending wood and stone. And he's not really building anything. And generally acceptable. Your opponent pushes into you in Castle Age real hard with a castle nonetheless. Get out your trap. Get up to Imperial. He's selling 1,000 wood. He's buying food. He is clicking up to Imperial with the furthest town center from his settlement. Rather, in his settlement. As this town center, what's going to happen to this? Is he going to repair it? Is he going to bother repairing it? He's got 1,200 wood. He's getting ballistics for his castle. No, why did he not repair that town center, I wonder? At least keep your opponent stuck here. Oh, he decides to delete the blacksmith instead of letting it fall into the hands of the Spanish, but a backup blacksmith. And finally, our first, ignoring Mr. Yo's siege workshop, our first military building of the game over here. Definitely first for DracKen, who is now moving in with villagers who are very confident in their ability to dodge castle fire. To the north, an outpost and a tower for him as well. Our Spaniard wants to put on pressure everywhere all at once. But with a tower here, I'm surprised he's letting these conquistadors be so idle. It's just one tower. They do come with one pierce armor right now. And they do move relatively fast. And there is a corridor down here. So really, they would only be taking archer fire in this location, which would be, you know, do 2 or 3 HP of damage. So I'm surprised that Mr. Yo is not being more aggressive with these guys. Maybe even placing them here to try to get a few villagers. For now, he's just happy to take down the infrastructure, but now they move in. I guess he was just waiting for the rams. While the tower attacks the rams, the conquistadors are free to roam around. Another tower going up for our Viking, but he stops it at 35%. Okay, this might be problematic. A town center. Oh my god, Mr. Yo's trying to convert a tower. That's hilarious. When's the last time we saw that? DracKen says nah and deletes it. But now he's going to try to convert it to the backup blacksmith and the university. This is absolutely bonkers. Mr. Yo just moving in with these incredibly powerful units. But there are crossbows out. The blacksmith gets converted. The university gets converted as well. And all of a sudden, you've got a couple of traitorous structures inside your base. Villagers help to defend the ram. They are just battering, which means they will be able to fall down fairly quickly. Looks like a conquistador got sniped here trying to pull some fancy maneuvers around these castle arrows. But finally, our Viking is in Imperial. And oh my god, can he actually hold? I mean, Mr. Yo has just pushed in. From the first second he hit Castle Age, I mean, even before he hit Castle Age, he had villagers out on the map, ready to construct those 2 monasteries and then ready to build that siege workshop. And he's basically taken out about a third of the Viking base, converted 2 incredibly important units, especially if you're going ranged. Tell me our Viking has a blacksmith behind this somewhere. What am I missing? No, he does not. We know what he's going to have. He's going to have arbalests in a second. But they are going to be stuck at what upgrades? +2, +1 only. Mr. Yo just now clicking up to Imperial is going to lose this castle for sure, especially if one more. Yeah, one more. A third treb. Usually when you see a bunch of villagers repairing, even 2 trebs, generally not enough to take it down as fast as you'd like. What the hell? This is the first time we're seeing a siege tower in like what, 10 months? Oh goodness gracious. This is an absolute bonkers game so far. I mean, look at its pierce armor. 100 pierce armor means it is basically invincible, especially to any of these range units that our Spaniard is going to be able to produce. The problem for Mr. Yo, he's got 1 minute and 45 still left to Imperial Age. I don't think this castle is going to survive. Like I said, when you see almost 10 villagers repairing, 2 trebs is not enough. You generally need 3. No, where are you going? Where are you going? It's not gone down just yet. They want to snipe villagers, but a little too antsy in the pantsy. They take a little bit of damage. Arbalests pop out of the tower. Look at those cool shields that are on the tower, by the way. No wonder it has 100 pierce armor, but I don't know. Conquistadors, especially at point blank range. Holy shit, do they just absolutely slaughter those arbalests. Now, he didn't put all 10 arbalests. What happened there? A mangonel shot. Yikes. Pancaked are the units of our Viking. That being said, hello. Our Viking is held. And now he's got 3 trebs. Mr. Yo wants to maybe convert one of them. But you know what's going to happen to that monk once these arbalests realize, hey, wait a second. Oh, no. He doesn't realize. Okay, he does finally realize. What an absolute crazy game. A whole bunch of villagers slaughtered here to the south by the arbalests. The center position, he's leaving the siege workshop intact. He is going straight after what? Let's find out. Is it the monasteries? There are 5 relics in here. He does see them both now. And look at Mr. Yo. He's got 0 army count. He's down 14 villagers. He's literally got 1 skirmisher. Now 4 skirmishers. What is his infrastructure behind this? Okay, he's going ranged as well. So 5 archery ranges to 6 archery ranges. I don't know who really to benefit here. I mean, the Spaniards do, their archer line units are terrible. I don't think they even get crossbows, but their skirmishers are not terrible. Their skirmishers basically come with all the upgrades, no? Thumb ring, all the blacksmith upgrades, whereas the Vikings, I don't know, they don't get thumb ring, which means they're going to attack slower. Archer wars are very, very finicky and very, very slow. Is he training a monk? Yes. Okay, so DracKen is training a monk. These are 5 juicy relics for the taking. Mysterio has managed to get 2,500 gold already from these relics, but now let's see if DracKen decides to take him. Conglomerates his army here, bringing forth a bunch of skirmishers of his own. Still missing the last upgrade for them, chemistry. These guys already have chemistry as well. They're missing their armor upgrades though. Trebs destroying the center. I mean, what an absolute crazy hold. The Treb here to the right will start bombarding this tower if it can actually hit. This is not a werewolf Treb. I love that he's left this. I love that DracKen has left this random spy blacksmith just hanging out in the back of his base, giving Mr. I mean, look at Mr. Yo's vision. Even having lost his entire forward position, he still has so much vision. He plopped down so much crap in and around his opponent's base that he just sees everything. That being said, does that matter? Because DracKen is here. He's got an army supply of 43, but he's given Mr. Yo perhaps a little bit too much time. Mr. Yo's army count went from 0 to 33, and he's getting the onager upgrade. And I think I also see, yeah, theocracy is being researched. He's upgrading his monks. He's only got 4 monks. What exactly is he going to try to upgrade? Arbalests? Convert arbalests? We've got berserkers starting to come out as well. Upgrades on them? No attack upgrades whatsoever. All defense, not bad against ranged units. Those berserkers are strong enough. If they can close the distance, that 12 base attack should be pretty damn good. But DracKen is losing a lot of arbalests. They are not cheap. He's down to 12, and now we're engaged in a skirmisher war. Probably one of the slowest after pikeman versus pikeman. Is the skirmisher versus skirmisher war the slowest killing? These guys at least come with bonuses against each other, missing an opportunity to get 2 monks. They're both very, very weak for a second until they start healing each other. It looks like the south is being left alone by both players. Mr. O just basically needs to send 1 villager there to get it. Problem for him is there's 3 trebs. The tower, the house, the outpost, all destroyed here to the north of DracKen's base, and DracKen is moving forward. This time he's brought some berserkers with him. Okay, so I mean, I don't want to say Mr. Yo God is upgrading these monks for the berserkers, because I don't think he saw the berserkers. Oh, good dodge there by DracKen, but look at Mr. Yo forging armor upgrades, speed upgrades for his cavalry. Loses his only onager. The other one, ooh, let's zoom out and see where it pops out. It doesn't manage to pop out at all. Yikes, the Trebs destroy the siege workshop before. Is the bomber cannon being trained out of here? No. So he's got a backup siege workshop. There it is, right inside his base. Where's the BBC? It's made its way to the forward. Oh no, he's got another one up here as well. Mysterio's infrastructure is just fantastic. DracKen floating a lot of wood. Needs to take control of the center with human units and with structures immediately, and that is exactly what he's doing. And the Berserkers are just destroying everything. He's saying you can have whatever archer units you want. I'm going to destroy your BBC. I'm going to destroy your onager. I'm just going to close in, use that minimum range that you have, and just wreck your skirmishers. DracKen has not only held, he is on the cusp of busting into Mysterio's base. He's got more than double the army count. He's got 16 more villagers. Mysterio, though, finally does have handcart and wheelbarrow. It looks like these Berserkers strayed a little bit too far away from home, and this castle managed to get a good amount of kills. Now the skirmishers are being drawn to their deaths as well by these blue skirmisher units. Where are the Trebs? 2 more on the way. Very aggressive forward castle here. What an absolute hold. What an absolute push out here by DracKen. It looked like for a moment those conquistadors, those mangonels and the ram were about to absolutely wreck the Viking settlement. Mysterio deleting his own walls to get his skirmishers to go in. Did he really need to delete 4 tiles of wall? And now he's moving in with the Berserkers, but one gets converted and one dies in a second. The line is getting fainter and fainter. He does not get converted. I wonder why DracKen doesn't want to convert it back. Elite Berserkers +2, +3 needs that blast furnace upgrade. And we're getting Inquisition. Oh my god. Oh man, I love Inquisition. It makes their what do you call it? It makes them convert units much faster. I don't see any mission. I was looking at for missionaries up top to see if they're going to get more range, but no, it just is going to make these Berserkers very questionable now. You know, sometimes in history, these empires and these groups hired mercenaries to help them fight their battles, like the Carthaginians would hire Numidian cavalry and things like that. That's what the Berserkers are right now. They're very much currently fighting for the Viking Empire, but once these monks have their way with them with Inquisition, they might have a change of heart. Gunpowder units are coming out. Remember, for the Spaniards, they do attack 18% faster, so 2.9 instead of 3.5, 5.5 instead of 6, I believe. Or is it 6.5? Oh, my mind is drawing a blank. In any event, oh my god, finally the blacksmith is under attack by no fewer than 1 arbalest, who's going to take 1 HP, 85, 84. So by the time my newborn is in college, that blacksmith will be down. Berserker charges into his death. What the hell did he think he's doing? And somehow Mr. Yo is now held, and he's getting supremacy, so his villagers are going to be bonkers, and he's getting hussars and blast furnace, both of them getting blast furnace at about the exact same time. What the hell is this game? 2 fantastic pushes, 2 fantastic holds, but like all Highlanders, there can be only one, and for now it looks like the Viking is going to be the one. Mysterio has a very healthy army count. The problem for him, 35 of it is in skirmishers. Actually, I'm looking at both of them. They're both very skirmisher heavy. The Berserkers need to survive. They cannot be falling down to hussars. You cannot be trading out a unit that costs gold for a unit that is basically trash. No fewer than 16 villagers are repairing this castle, but he's making no attempt to get rid of those Trebs. So what the hell's the point of repairing that castle? The trash wars have begun. Skirmishers, hussars, skirmishers. The only big question mark is the Berserkers. There's 12 of them. There's a few castles here to the south. The one to the center, the Berserkers are going to have their way with these villagers who are attacking. What is their bonus? Plus 18 against buildings. Look at the castle as it falls down. This is absolutely incredible. Mr. Yo getting all of the upgrades, and now we're getting Bogsvegar, which is adding +1 attack to the archer line units. Okay. I guess that's a way to handle this. I wonder if Chieftains would have been a better upgrade. To get a +5 attack boost against cavalry would have made his Berserkers a lot more powerful. But correct me if I'm wrong, Bogsvegar doesn't affect skirmishers, right? It's only, yeah, so 3 + 4. Now these guys should be 6 + 5. you only had 12 arbalests. And your opponent's going heavy on the skirmishers and the hussars. I'm not complaining. Who doesn't want to see these new upgrades? Oh my god, look at this. These Viking villagers so confident. What are they doing? You've got a gold mine back here. You're basically going to your death. That is hilarious. And all of a sudden, it looks like our Spaniard is... he pulled an Uno card. They both did. First, Mr. Yo attacked into DracKen. Draco pulled a reverse Uno. And then attacked Mr. Yo, who then pulled a reverse Uno of his own. And now he's back here where he was about 20 minutes ago. He's also brought a whole bunch of infrastructure with him, unless he's converted this. And oh my goodness. What the hell was that? What an absolute amazing game. Ah, wow. A fantastic hold by DracKen, a fantastic push by Mr. Yo, and then a reverse, a fantastic push by DracKen, who just gave Mr. Yo a little bit too much time. There was a time, the bards will sing, when our Spaniard had 1 army count and 0 army count a second before, and our Viking had 33 military supply, which, by the way, included 3 trebs. And he went a little bit cautious, did our Viking. He plopped down a whole bunch of infrastructure, which, by the way, is now getting converted by the Spaniard with 17 HP. Okay. And ultimately, he was not able to push in quickly enough, which gave Mr. Yo an opportunity here with this wonky base of his. I'm surprised our Viking hasn't... He's seen this. I'm surprised he hasn't pushed in through this. This is a very weak wall. Is this even walled off? No, it's not. This is completely open. There's a tile in here of nothing. So DracKen not pushing in at the opportune location, not pushing in at the opportune time, which gave Mr. Yo the ability, the time he needed to just get his economy up and running. And for a while, he was down like 20, 30 villagers. And now look at him. Wow, what a super fun game. Both players really showcasing the strengths of their civilizations. I mean, the Spanish don't really need a showcase of their strength. They might have some of the most pristine military branches in the game, right? Their infantry line is pristine. Their cavalry line is pristine. Their monk line, their defensive structures, their navy is pristine. Not that navy playing a role here at all. The Spanish, just one of the most powerful in-your-face civilization. That being said, the Vikings with those economic upgrades was just absolutely a delight to see. I want to take a look at the stats because I want to take a look at the economy. And look at that. We had ourselves a good old-fashioned trash war here. Peak APM for DracKen right at the beginning, furiously clicking. Oh my god, look at that. 16 second, 11 seconds, both of them. Click, click, clicking, queuing villagers, hotkeys left, right, and center. And look at the economies. So freaking similar. More wood to our Viking, more stone to our Viking, about an extra castle's worth, but a little bit more gold and a tiny bit, literally 27 more chicken nuggets to our Spaniard, who had for a moment all 5 relics, and then the game ended with our Viking having all 5 relics. So the relics being passed around like a doobie at a concert from one player to another. Not really playing a role, I don't think, in terms of giving one player any major advantage, although in the beginning it certainly gave Mr. Yo an advantage. We saw he was ahead 2,500 gold. Now he's just ahead 1,500 gold. But ultimately, our Viking still has a presence everywhere out on the map, getting the stone, getting the gold, trying to even get this gold. So cocky was he that his attack would work. And ultimately, yeah, look at this. The Hussars are going to start raiding now. And you are firmly focused in the front where your army has been completely eviscerated. And you are down to 20 army supply, 14 of which is ranged units against Hussars, which you might have a nice +1 attack, but they still have 6 pierce armor. And behind them are a whole bunch of hand cannons and monks ready to absolutely destroy your strongest unit, this Viking standing next to Yggdrasil. And yeah, I hope I pronounced that right. Yggdrasil, the world tree. I know it from both video games and the slot machine company that makes some pretty damn fun online slots. In any event, degeneracy aside, what an absolute seesaw of a game. I thought for sure DracKen would have been pushed into. I initially wasn't too worried. I didn't think Mr. Yo brought enough supporting units, but with the castle here and the conquistadors that pumped out of that castle, it was amazing. And I thought for sure he was going to hit Drac. And then DracKen fought back. got all 5 of the relics that Mr. Yo left here abandoned in his haste to return to his town center. Then I thought for sure Mr. Yo was going to get absolutely steamrolled. And then we just had an absolute war of attrition. It looks like our Spaniard won that war with about 128 more kills than his opponent. Almost the identical villager kill counts. Just shows you how badly these players wanted to kill each other's villagers, but ultimately with these more powerful hussars, hand cannoneers, conquistadors, it is Mr. Yo who gets 50% or so more kills and takes with it the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.